Toy Story 5. I remember when this movie was first announced a few years ago, and I was like, wait, what? Another one? It felt like 4 was the perfect ending for this series. What else could they even do? Despite that, I kept an open mind. Then the premise was revealed, toys versus tech, and I loved that. That's the perfect story to tell that it's surprising it took Pixar this long to think about it. Then Woody was shown to come back, and I wasn't sure what to feel about it. I was hoping they wouldn't undo 4's ending. Then again, I saw that they wrote a draft without him and realized they just couldn't do it without him. So in that sense, I guess it makes sense to bring him back. The trailer started coming out, and then I spent the last week watching Toy Story movies, and now suddenly I was feeling super excited to watch this, especially with the great reviews that were coming out. So, after all that build-up, did I like this movie? Oh heck yeah, I did! This was both a surprisingly and unsurprisingly great movie in my eyes. I had such a fun time watching it, and I'm gonna talk about it. Once again, the premise of this film is toys versus tech, and I loved that idea from the beginning, and I'd say they nailed it here. I guess it shouldn't be that big of a surprise since this was directed by Andrew Stanton, who had a similar premise in WALL-E, but still, Bonnie has a hard time making friends, and so her parents buy her lily pad to help her. The movie is some funny moments where we see kids not playing with toys anymore, but instead stuck on their devices. No real friendship either. But it also doesn't villainize tech. The movie acknowledges that tech is useful, but we shouldn't rely on it to make friends, which I love. So for the first time, Woody isn't really the main character. Jesse is. And staying on Woody real quick, he doesn't really have a character arc this time, but I'm surprisingly okay with that. I said in my Toy Story 4 Letterboxd review that film completed his arc for this franchise in general, and this movie still maintains that. Here he still has fun banter with Buzz, he still wants to help where he can, and the movie doesn't undo 4's ending. But yeah, back to Jessie. She has an amazing character arc that builds off of her previous appearances, mostly Toy Story 2, and I couldn't be happier. She starts out being Bonnie's favorite toy, but then Lily Pad shows up and isn't interested in Jessie anymore. Because of this, Jessie acts like old people today, where she hates tech and wants to get rid of Lily because she believes she's ruining Bonnie's chances to make friends. But then she's accidentally taken back to Emily's house, and here she hangs out with some tech-based toys, and we see her bias against tech go away. She starts to see value in them, how they're able to help Bonnie, and it's really sweet. There are other things that happen with her that I won't spoil, but I'll just say right now, they were emotional. There was a specific tie-in they had with Emily way back in 2, and it felt like the perfect closure to Jessie's tragic flashback that we never knew we needed. Like, it actually got me to tear up a little. I also like Buzz in this movie. He's not just a dummy like he was in the last movie. This time we see him taking charge as a deputy. I also like that this movie picked up on a plot line that 4 forgot about, that being his romance with Jessie. Oh, and speaking of Buzz, there's an entire army of Buzz Lightyears in this film. I remember seeing the trailers and putting together the story, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how they fit into it. Well, they fit pretty well. They have a funny side story where they're shipwrecked on an island and figure out a way back to civilization, with their goal being to find Star Command. I would say they have the funniest comedy in the whole film. Then there's Lily Pad, who surprisingly has a character arc that I didn't see coming. As for the side characters such as the Potato Heads, Rex, Forky, Slinky, Dolly, Ham, and all of them, they are unfortunately sidelined pretty hard, just like last movie, but I don't really mind that much. After all, they were sidelined the first movie too, and no one seemed to care. Then there's Bonnie. This is my favorite appearance for her out of the 3 films she's been in so far. We saw in the last 2 movies that she's shy and we don't really see her with any friends. This movie builds off of that by showing her shy to make friends. Then she gets Lily Pad, gets invited into a group chat, and is invited for a sleepover. She's excited about that, but when she arrives, she has Jessie and Bullseye with her, and the kids look at her weird. You still play with toys? She then immediately gets rid of them and grabs Lily because she wants to fit in. The way the movie resolves this is really heartwarming. There was also a particular moment towards the end that really got me emotionally, and if you've seen the movie, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. The animation is amazing, no surprise there. The biggest standout though is definitely Bonnie's imagination, as it honestly reminded me of Spider-Verse. For the Randy Newman score, well, at least he didn't reuse a ton of music this time like he did in the last movie. That said, I couldn't really think of many standouts. The biggest one for me was when he played a melodic version of When She Loved Me, but that's not a new song. Maybe I'll catch new tunes on rewatch. In conclusion, I love Toy Story 5. It's a good continuation, it has great character arcs, it's heartwarming, and it's overall an enjoyable time. Apparently Pixar has said they're considering a Toy Story 6, and to be honest, I don't mind that. I said on Letterboxd that I'm fine with getting more Toy Stories as long as the story is good. So as long as Pixar has a good story to tell, I like it. 9 out of 10.